Hey guys, welcome back to my 18th devlog of the series. This is actually quite an exciting week since we have a good set of new things to feature. The things I'll be showing are the player holding items such as torches, crafting, random vegetation generation and a new house design. Previously, the only source of light that the player could generate was through a stationary item, such as that of a campfire. But now I've added a torch along with its animation. The torch item is also now a source of light and will continue to be rendered on the torch's position, which when being held by the player is the same as the player's. The player can now explore the world well after dark as long as they have one of these handy. To equip the item, I have created a new slot for the player. I want the player to be able to hold some passive items such as torches in one equipable hand, and then also to be able to scroll through their quick slot inventory and use other items such as planting seeds. I'm also able to modify the colour and distance that the light is shone for each individual item. So currently set at 200 is this distance. Since to 400, you can visibly see that the light distance for the torch is quite a lot larger. I have repurposed some code which I previously had for this to work. I made some spawn areas around the map for different animals such as fish for pools of water, as here with the water spawn. I have repurposed this code to be more generic so I can spawn in different random animals and entities within the water spawn and random animals and entities and anything else within the forest spawn. So here I can spawn in some vegetation, some plants and some different forest animals. So within a certain area of the map, on load of the game, 10 trees will be populated in a random position within this area. Like so. As you can see, there are some random trees in this area, and if I was to reload, as you can see, the tree positions are different every time. There will be a future update to only allow generation of small trees, so when they're first growing, and then which will later on grow into full-size trees such as the small seed vegetation that we currently have in game. The generation will also take place during the game if the tree count of an area is too low and not in view of the player, so the trees don't just pop in when the player is staring in that area of the map. I feel like the trees do need a bit of a redesign to suit the overall feel of the game I'm going for, but that will be for the future, as well as adding a little bit of animation to them. So my first real try at designing a building for the game, and I think it looks okay. I'm clearly not a pixel artist at all, but I've tried to give it my best and we'll go from there. Now that I've had some experience, I can now start trying to implement more complex structures and pixel art such as animals. So that should be interesting, especially with their animations. I've tried to add in a bit of shading here and there, which I still need to finalise. I've also added in a snow layer so I can have the cabin, which I can use for the summer seasons of the game, as well as the snowy seasons of the game, so I can switch between the two, whichever season the game currently is in. As discussed in the previous devlog, this was actually mostly completed apart from the UI component. And to be quite honest, the UI still isn't really done for the crafting component, but I have put in just enough so that I can test the work that I've been doing and showcase something. So being able to have a central UI component within the game actually looks quite good. So I can flick between pages to see the crafting, to see the quests and so on, and a few other pages that I'm going to be adding in. As you can see for the crafting, the only thing that I've implemented is the left screen, which should show all the items that you have currently unlocked and are able to craft. Once you click it, it will update the right page crafting description, which is clearly just not a really good UI, but it will have the name, the description and any sort of stat improvements for the player that it will have and what you need to craft the item. Now currently I know that I need 5 logs in order to create a campfire. So if I click campfire, it updates the right page with the crafting description, and if I hit the crafting button and check my inventory, 5 logs have been removed from the log section from the logs, and I have created a campfire. If I was to try and craft it again, I cannot craft it again because I don't have enough logs. So Essentially, this is the crafting component. The UI is absolutely awful. I need to make these screens basically look more fluid with the book pages behind it and not this color. It should be quite simple to do. I just need to go ahead and implement it. I also need to update the crafting description page so it has an image of the item that I'm about to craft, as well as some stat updates that is going to help with the player and any more information for that specific item. For the next update, I will have a swinging effect for the player so that they can collect wood from trees and other resources from stones and anything like that, and defend themselves. On top of that, I also want to start trying to implement my first animal, which should be able to react to the player, as well as have some animations to be able to look more realistic. I also want to try and update the trees so that they have a little bit of a swaying effect, as well as suit the theme of the game a bit better. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you in the next one.